Mrs. Miller's first grade class, you're first graders today. Can you believe it? So, those of you at home, I wanted to go through some of the information that you picked up yesterday from school. It was really exciting to get to meet all of you and see your face, and I look forward to seeing your face on my computer screen today. So, in your packet, what you got was a bag of some goodies. And inside that bag, there's different things like Unifix cubes that we're going to be using for math time, some beans that you can use to maybe count and make numbers with, and 10 frame and counter. So anytime we're using these things in the class, I will try to reference them in my video lesson, and you take them out and use them with us. You also have a dice that we'll probably be using for both reading and math. You have a couple of things in there to help you out. A number chart that we're going to use a lot. You have a vowel chart that we're going to learn about. You might have learned with these secret stories in kindergarten, but we're going to learn these also and talk about them here in first grade. So this will help you remember those sounds that those letters make. You have we call this a foundations whiteboard. You can see the lines on it. This board is what you're going to use to write your letters. And in first grade, we don't just throw our letters down on the board. We use the lines to practice writing them the right way. That's a big thing here at the beginning of first grade, is practicing our handwriting to write the letters the correct way. So when you're writing on these small lines like this, Mrs. Miller is expecting to see you using the lines the right way. So you're going to want to use your small, tiny dry erase marker so you can write smaller. If you need to write your letters bigger, practicing your letters a little bit bigger, you can use that side, and you can use your smaller one, or you can use the bigger one. Okay, if we're using a dry erase board for math, then you can use that board also. You don't need to worry about the lines then. You have a paper clip in there. I think I gave you 2 of them. This sometimes we use as a spinner. If you need to spin something, you put your pencil in there and then you flick it and it's a little spinner. And the last thing, we call this a foundations board. So we'll use this during reading or foundations time. And I need you to be really careful of it, because if you've opened it up to see, there's lots of different letters and they're magnets, and they can easily come off and get lost. I tried to make sure everybody had everything on there that they needed. But please take care of this so we can use it for other years. Make sure you keep track of all those letter tiles and things so we can make words together while you're at home. So that was some of the materials that I sent home. I also sent home a folder with lots of information in it. So let's go over some of that stuff. One thing, parents, I need you to bring back is this little questionnaire form about some information on learning at home and what that's going to look like for you. That will give us a better idea of how we can get lessons to you, or make it as easy as we can for you guys at home. Another packet you saw in there was paper clipped together, and it said this week's activities. So those are some papers you might get out while you're watching our lessons. Those are some of your assignments. You may either turn them back in with your folder on Friday, or you can just take a picture of it and put it on Seesaw for me to see, whatever is easiest. You had a little get to meet your virtual teacher. It has all my contact information. It has some websites we're going to be using and information about when to drop off your stuff and pick it back up. These websites, what we're going to be working on this week is making a bookmark for the kids of all their login information so they can practice logging in with their email address and password to all of those things. Your computer should save most of it, so hopefully after the first time they don't need to do it a lot, but it is something that they need to practice, typing their email address and such. This is what I mainly want to go over. I hope you've read it over, but if you're anything like me lately, you've read a lot of emails and information, and some of it's not always sticking. So I wanted to go over this with you just to make sure that you read it over and understand everything. So the first little blip, we just wanted to thank you for your patience, and just please remember that this is new for us too, and we're all learning here together, and we're just doing our best and you let us know if you have any questions so we can help. Also, it's going to be the best thing for your child if they can get on and do this live with us. So if they can get on and click that live link, that's going to be the best thing for them, and we think they're going to take the most out of it. If not, there is going to be the lessons that are recorded and put up, but it might not be until throughout the day when I have a minute to do that during our specials and things. So Google Meet is what we're going to use to meet as either one-on-one or in a small group with kids at home. So make sure that, I'm sure you're aware of it or have used it with your kindergarten teacher. So remember to mute yourself when you're listening. If you have a question, you can unmute and just say, Mrs. Miller, and I should hear you, and we can get your question asked. So don't be afraid to do that while I'm teaching. And also soon here, as soon as we kind of get our feet under us and figure out what this is going to look like, we're going to schedule a time, maybe every other day, a couple times a week, that we can meet. Like I can call you on Google Meet, we can talk to each other one-on-one a bit, catch up, maybe I can hear you read, answer any questions, things like that. So we're going to have a time, whatever days we pick, that is going to be a scheduled meet that day or those days, every day, that we're going to commit to each other and make sure that we are there to get that in and that we don't miss, so we're not interrupting the rest of the kids in here working, and I get to see your sweet little face. Okay. Again, in those times that we set up, we need to try to make them within the school day or a little bit after school if we can. So be thinking of maybe a time that works with you. And in your packet, I've already went over this with you, but that's in your folder too. In this packet about our room, the yellow tab is our schedule. So you can look at that too, and you can see, I don't mind meeting during like lunchtime. I usually work during my lunch, or specials time, gym, PE, things like that. Before school might be a little bit difficult for me, but then after school, I'm usually here till about 3:30 or 4. So if we could find a time within that time frame, that would be great. So just be thinking about that. Seesaw, I hope all of you have gotten into Seesaw. If not, I've had a little problem with it too with my daughter's account because of my teacher email, but this should be coming home. And if you weren't able to get on it, this should help. So you can scan that QR code and get on there. That is going to be our main form of communication. I'm going to put all their links and assignments on there. So on Seesaw every day, I'm going to put up a post or an assignment of the day's lessons. So you'll click the live link if you're going live and listen. And if we leave, you can just stay right on there and then we should be back. Hopefully we don't have any issues with it, but like anything, we might. And if we do, we'll just figure it out and do our best. If for some reason that's not working or you're not doing the live, then you can click the video links that are recorded. We're just going to record the live lessons also, and you can watch those at a later time. Today, your lessons are going to be a lot of procedural things. You'll hear us talking in the classroom about our procedures, and Mrs. Brickner has a couple videos for you to watch on there today about your procedures, and there'll be a couple of little things we're doing in the classroom. So the first couple days are just going to be about getting to know the room and the school, and you guys getting to know your computers and how to log in and things like that. If you have questions or anything, you can use Seesaw to message me, or you can text me or email me, and I will get back with you as soon as I can. If you have an assignment on Seesaw that you don't have a paper for in your folder, then you can either copy it in your notebook as best you can, take a picture of it and send it back to me, or you can print it off if you have a printer at home, if that's an option. Specials. So you're going to look on the slide on your assignment, and whatever special we have for that day, you're just going to click their picture and you're going to be sent to their page where they have assignments for you. So that should be pretty easy, but don't forget to do that every day. This week, there might not be a lot on there for you to do. I'm not sure what they have done yet, but we will see. Again, I talked about if you're not doing live, those videos will be on there for you to see. It's not going to be right on there right away because I'm going to need to take my breaks during the day to put those videos on. So please be patient because those will keep popping up throughout the day, so you might have to go back and check. Again, I talked to most of you about dropping off your folder and your reading pouch every Friday in the office so I can work over the weekend to fill it up for the next week with assignments and things. So if you have any work you want me to see, you can put it in here. If I have anything for you, I'm going to put it in here. And then books, I'm going to fill this up, especially as I get to know where they are more as readers. I will be filling that up with books that you guys can be reading at home. One of the papers I gave you in your packet about our room was the importance of reading at home. And I want you guys to make sure that you're doing that a little bit every day, either reading to your child or your child reading to you. Both are great ways of practicing. Your child's also going to need supplies. We put the supply list in there for you for the first grade. They're not going to need, if you're going to be at home, they're not going to need, unless you need Kleenexes and wipes and the bags and stuff like that. They're just going to need the crayons, dry erase markers, pencils, things like that they're going to need for their learning. And then if you end up coming back to school in October, then go ahead and bring those materials with you too. I gave you my contact information, a couple different places, so make sure you use that if you need anything. And let me just double check. I think that's about all. So let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to our first date together. I hope everything runs smoothly. And remember, just be patient. We're going to figure this out, and we're going to have a lot of fun doing it. So have a great day. I'll see you soon.